One of the many things we've learned through the years is that when somebody who's early in the planning process asks, how much is a golf trip to Scotland? Usually what they're really asking is, what are all of the decisions that will impact my final price? What separates the $5,000 golf trip from the $10,000 variety? Well, as it turns out, quite a number of things. But here's a few of the important ones to keep in mind. Number one, of course, is where you play. Scotland is home to a bunch of bucket list golf courses, and with the popularity of the course goes the green fee. But Scotland is also home to an abundance of lesser known golf courses that you may not have ever heard of, but are an absolute joy to play. This is where the expertise of your H&B planning manager will come into play, because they're going to be able to guide you to some of these courses and, in the process, maybe help you capture some savings and value along the way. Of course, where you stay is another important decision. Scotland is home to a wide range of lodging options, and your decision here is certainly going to impact the final price. The same is true for your type of room. There is nothing better than watching the sun rise over the old course with your morning cup of coffee, but keep in mind that in the end, it might cost you as much as that green fee. Along the same lines of where to stay, who's your roommate is another important decision. More specifically, do you have a roommate? Single versus double occupancy will impact your final price perhaps more than anything else. But this is again where the expertise of your H&B planning manager can help guide you to the right choice. They may be able to set you up with a multi-bedroom accommodation that provides the space and the privacy of single occupancy, but the value and the savings of double. Besides where you stay, where you play, and who's your roommate, when you go is naturally another important decision. June through August is the peak of the golf travel season and is typically priced accordingly. So if you're looking to capture some value, consider the shoulder months of April and October. It's a little cooler in terms of temperature, but the prices are a little lower as well. Finally, the most important decision that you'll make with regards to your upcoming trip is whether to self-drive or hire a driver host. Most of our travelers will opt to hire a driver host. They just figure it's better to have a local behind the wheel showing them around the country as opposed to wandering it on their own. This of course is going to impact your final cost, but once you reach that magic number of about 8 travelers, the cost difference is minimal. But the difference in terms of your experience simply cannot be measured. So those are a few of the important decisions that will impact the final cost of your golf trip to Scotland. The key here is to simply remember the difference between cost and value. If that morning cup of coffee overlooking the old course is going to bring value to your trip, then you should absolutely be willing to pay for it. But on the other hand, don't be afraid to skip the things that, in the end, just aren't a priority for you. By first getting to know you, your group, what's important to all of you, as well as your budget, your H&B Expedition Planning Manager can craft an itinerary that doesn't waste a single minute or a single dollar on anything that doesn't bring value to your experience.